Um, all right. So I
All
kind of
right.
knew that today would be a little bit shorter for me. And initially I'd thought about maybe doing something along the lines of a bird dog session. Steve, I know we chatted a little bit on WhatsApp and stuff about the
Yeah.
session. Have you had any more thoughts about
Well,
what could be good?
well, to be honest, I just assumed going with the bear dog. There's so much that we can do around it, just because it's the intro to the crawling posture. There's a lot which we've done recent with changing the sort of assessment screen around that, which, for anyone who struggles with the bear dog, we can use that as some building blocks. So certainly plenty to. Well, Crispin's got to go at 9:30, and the Valentine's card and some flowers bought me a load of grace, and so I can do another flower after
Yeah.
that. Kid hasn't lost it.
We've got that on tape now, Steve. So you better make sure.
As long as you don't show Sam.
Tom, you better squirrel this one away, mate. This is okay.
I can imagine the image he's going to use for the YouTube now.
Yeah. So, Steve, is there anything? Because I think everyone aware of that new bird dog posture. Steve, is there anything that you want to say about that, or?
Well, yeah, but I suppose since we're talking on it, I mean, what you're probably aware that ourselves and Gray and thereby with Dominica have got a project undergoing, basically trying to script this into a syllabus whereby you can do an assessment screen to essentially identify the most primitive pattern that you lack competence in, to identify that, and then have the strategies then to build competence in it. But then obviously, whichever pattern that you find you don't have competence in, you also then have some mobility checks, because you can't teach a skill in a range of movement that doesn't exist. So the screen is sort of like to identify the pattern to focus on, and then mobility checks to ensure that, are we okay to go to the drills, or do we need to correct that first? So that's the overall piece. And what we've been thinking, we had the bear dog. Each one of the assessments, you could say, correlates with one of the primitive movement patterns. But also what we wanted to do was, you've got to try to make it so it's objective. And if you make it a movement, it's difficult for it to be objective. And so what we wanted is a series of transitions. So you'd go from posture A to posture B, and obviously to do so correctly, don't we, Mary? Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the crawling pattern, I suppose we had two, because two around the quadruped, because we had the quadruped to squat. The squat is quite advanced in the neurodevelopment sequence, so we needed one which was addressing principally the crawl. So we had the bear dog there, but it was my feeling that that was too high a challenge, because I thought there would be a good number of people, and certainly some within our group, who would find the bear dog more challenging than getting into the squat, which, that poses a number of problems. First of all, it would encourage people to jump around steps in the neurodevelopment sequence. But also, if it doesn't follow the neurodevelopment sequence, there is something suboptimal about it. So what we needed to have was something around the quadruped posture, but also that had a contralateral balance challenge, i.e. a difference in the stability on one side to the other, because that's what you get when you crawl. but was an appropriate level of challenge. And then if I just demonstrate it now, this is what we came up with. I had a great session with Dominica discussing on this. She was a massive help in it. So what you want is to go from quadruped to lifted paw dog. I always wondered why the hell bird dog was called bird dog. Well, apparently it's hunting dogs when they hunt for birds. Where the bird is, so that's why it's a bird dog.
Blinkers.
Yeah. So you might call this lifted paw.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can do it in position, and you can see how it can start to translate to crawling. But also, you can see how you can start to build.
That's actually quite clear when you
Yeah.
show that, Steve, actually. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's helpful. Like I've heard some of that explanation before, and I guess I was, privy to, some of these discussions that you and Dominic were having, but actually kind of going over that again was really helpful. So what do you think, Steve? Maybe for this evening, do you think that maybe just getting everyone to try either the leg version or the leg and the hand version of both of those things, just to become familiar with them, would be a good start?
What I would suggest is anyone who thinks they can do the bird dog should do the bird dog. And whilst if you think you are doing a competent bird dog, then keep with that. And then obviously me and Crispin will be the judge of that. But it will be interesting, first of all, to see if people can self-identify as a bird dog. And how whether we agree that they've got an authentic posture, and then if someone thinks they can but they can't, how then the lifted paw dog contributes to it. And I think it's the things say sort of Gary, TJ, and Timur specifically. I think it would be really helpful for them to go through that build-up series, which I just demonstrated there. Of first getting to quadruped, then extending both legs each time, returning to quadruped, then lifting both arms, then doing a leg and an arm, doing that both sides. If you're still competent, you then go for extending the leg and lifting the arm together. Get that on both sides, and then you get to do that, with a little bit more momentum or frequency, should I say. And then you see if you can go to crawling, because that's the one. If this would have two purposes. First purpose would be teaching people to crawl or giving them the tools so that they can self-teach to crawl. But then if somebody's already got a reasonably competent crawling pattern, well, then the bird dog is a useful tool to increase competence in lateral rotation and contralateral pattern. So that's it. I'll crack on with that one, guys. Let's go to bird dog, and then we can assess your bird dog, and then if anyone's struggling with it, you can go through the lifted paw dog. It's a good quadruped, that, Timur.
Thank you.
And that's nice with that leg out. Get your breathing. And then see if you can do that leg again. A million times better, mate. In through the nose, do the double sniff if you need to get control back. That looks good, Tom. Nice, Timo. Get that lumbar curve, TJ. Yeah, I was going to say maybe there's a hint you could get the hands a tiny bit further forward. I don't want to be too picky, but I also want to make sure you've got an optimum base. I reckon that's probably going to be pretty cool. You get that lumbar curve. Yeah, now that's where it's made a big difference in your spinal position, and that's what I was concerned about. I don't know how wide the knees are. If they're under the hips, that's great, mate. Or if they're parallel with the hips, that's great. And you want a big breath in. That's excellent, Timo. Big breath in and extend the leg to the rear. Keep that head up, looking forward, mate.
Amber, that's looking good. Well done.
That's great, TJ. Just breathe there. Just breathe. And then bring that under. And do the same with the other leg. You okay, TJ?
Good.
Good man.
Amber, before if you bring your knee back in, just see if you can get just a fraction more lumbar curve, if you can, just a little bit more. Yeah. Good work. Yeah. And just take your time. You're doing really well. Well done.
Old Spiegel Glatt Winkelmann is doing her usual extreme competence.
No, maybe it looks like that, but it isn't.
Great.
Steve, do you have any opinion on, like, for someone who is like Linda, who's finding this a little easier, do you have any opinion on kind of bringing the weight-bearing hand and knee slightly inwards of the shoulder and the hip, like slightly further into midline?
No, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to mess with that. It's similar to how at the forward half kneeling you can narrow the base.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I obviously get where you're going with that, but I wouldn't want it to interfere with crawling.
yeah, fair one. Yeah. I didn't know if there'd be any mileage in that.
I mean, what you can do if you want to stick the camera on me, something which is very challenging to the point I don't quite know if I'm too close to the wall, is arm and leg at the same side. Now that's a bit of an epic. That I find it difficult putting both limbs out at the same time. Certainly on this side, synchronize me breathing, get me quadruped right. Whoa! No, see, I had to throw myself into that. Shite. Yeah.
You're pretty good.
And that's I've been working on all of this stuff for a long time. Like that certainly wasn't in the program in my earlier days.
Wow.
How was that, Tom? Did you just have a go at that? Did you, mate?
Yeah, well, yeah, slowly.
I thought I heard an exclamation which might have been consistent with that. Hey, mate, that's a good effort. That's a really good effort. I would Your hands and knees are a little bit too far apart, I would say. Get yourself a little bit more of a stable, but still too far apart, mate. Your knees are behind your hips and your hands are ahead of your shoulders. If you look where your shoulders are, better.
And really take your time with that, Tom.
Big breath in. Big breath in.
Yeah, that's
reach
it.
forward, don't lift, reach. Mate, that's excellent.
It's pretty good.
Doesn't feel excellent.
It looks good.
Oh, what you mean? I was, you know, I was maybe a little hasty in introducing that because it really is quite advanced. That, like,
It is.
I'm really impressed with what Tom could do there. Wo ist unsere gnädiges Fräulein?
I can
that's
do it on this side. Ooh,
Hey, look at this.
but
You can
not
have
on
this.
that side.
You're
is
struck
okay.
off from the group, Linda. You're not allowed in, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I'm not having that.
I can do the one side, but I
Yeah.
can't do the other.
Oh, top effort, Rob. Try to integrate your breathing into it. So a big breath in, and then the controlled, forced out breath to hold the position. Rob, that's magic, that, mate.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Well done, Rob. Excellent.
And so that would be really interesting.
Really good, Timur.
That's good there, though. Make sure you've got the hand under the shoulder before you start. It looked like that right hand was wide, which is always going to make you topple in. So it's head up, look forward, and then reach forward rather than lift the hand. Reach forward.
TJ, that's really good.
Side is difficult.
Mate, that's all right. But I wouldn't spend too much time on that. That is great, Rob. And the things that are enabling you to do that is the good position of the hand and the knee, the good relationship between the hand and the knee, and the fact that you're shifting your weight so that the hand and the knee are more towards the middle, more towards the center line. That, you know, for the physics of the thing, that's how it has to work. You have to shift your weight.
Yeah.
Nice one, Jules. Looking good.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Is that the same side, Jules? Yeah, outstanding.
So there is if you guys take a break for a second, there is another thing which you can play around with for those of you that want to have a go at that. So I don't know if it's like a little bit of visualization or using your intention a little bit. I don't know quite how you'd categorize it, but basically sometimes when I do kind of drills similar to this, I especially if I'm struggling with what I'm doing, like the thing that Steve just showed, what I do is I try and put intention into my palm, my weight-bearing hand, to imagine it kind of going deeper into the ground. So I'm kind of, it's not that I'm necessarily technically putting more weight through it, but I'm using my mind to try to imagine that I'm going deeper into the floor or the ground with it. So,
but you're rooted.
yeah, that's a good word, Jules. Yeah, like you're rooted. So, for example, like when I try, like the thing that Steve tried, if I'm too quick about it, I don't give my mind time to root myself in my hand.
Yeah.
So, like here, for example, so just before I do something like like the bird dog or something, I'll just spend a moment. I know I'm going to weight bear through my left hand. I'm going to just spend a moment, like thinking about my intention traveling down into that hand, and then just opening out this way. You know. And if I do the other
One thing
side,
you can notice. Oh, sorry, Crispin.
no, go ahead, Steve.
I say one thing you can notice there is Crispin's got his fingers spread. You spread your hand, you've got a bigger base of support. And one of the things is when Crispin's given an intention like that, the beauty of that, you give an intention to your movement, then your movement brain figures out the commands and what to do, and that sends out all of the instructions. If you don't have an intention, you don't have a reason to move either, then it's like you're given explicit instructions to body parts, and that movement just fails. Well, the best it does is survive if that's what you're doing. So that idea of giving an intention or a visualization, if you can get that intentional visualization right, or just in the right ballpark, then your movement brain will take care of the commands. You know, just give the intention within the limit of ability, and that will produce the better quality movement. Head up, looking forward. That's it. Well done, Corey. Nice controlled return, mate.
Yeah, so give it a try. See what you think. See if there's any difference. Yeah, Gary, that's looking very nice. That was really good.
Well, was that a bird dog or the lifted?
It was. That was a full-on bird dog. So take your time, Gary.
Keep that head up.
Gary, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yes. Look at that, Gary. Outstanding.
Brilliant.
You know? Now, when you're in your quadruped, notice how you're still sitting back a little on your knees. You need that weight over the hands under the shoulders, not outside, and that weight forward a little bit more. But that was great. Tuck those toes if you can. So what you can do, Timur, when you go into lifted paw now, get control of your breathing and make sure your push your weight forward from your knee. So you want that weight over that hand. You see,
Good work, Timur.
What happened was when you lifted that hand, you shifted your weight back onto the knee, which is, you know, you can understand why, but then that means you're reducing the support that you can get from the hand. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, the hand is the only support on one side.
Amber, that was really good just then.
So what you can start doing once you're happy you've got competence in that lifted paw position, Timur, get in the lifted paw, cycle 3 breaths, and if you're happy with the quality of the sort of quadruped position, even though you lifted paw, then big full breath, and then the forced out breath, lift the leg and reach it to the rear. I'll show you what I mean.
Steve, I've got a head now, matey. But I'll make you host.
Yep.
Let's see.
So this is what I mean.
Right.
Once you're here, if you're stable, cycle a few breaths, and then big breath in. Come on. Other side. Cycle 3 breaths.
Be careful.
See you soon, guys.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Crispin.
Crispin.
Cheers.
Hey,
Cheers, Steve.
Crispin.
Yeah.
Hi, Brooke. No, she's not with us yet. So what we can, well, I'll tell you what, let's just see if Timor can follow through on what I was talking about there. Did you do the breathing there, Timor?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
trying.
It looked a real good starting position.
Right.
You know, it looked a really good position you were in with the lifted paw position. You know.
Okay, that's a good point.
And that was very nice, Amber. Try and get that lumbar curve, so get that head up. That's nice. I thought you rushed into lifting that hand up a little first. You want that leg out to the rear, reaching out, and then understand that you're stable. I mean, what you might want to do, Amber, is do the lifted paw with it. So you can pull that left arm so the elbow's up to the torso. Do that now. That's it. Now, just cycle a couple of breaths there. Cycle a couple of breaths. And when you're happy, you're in control, big breath into the abdomen. And then on the forced breath, leave your arm where it is, but lift the leg and reach to the rear. See, and when you feel that movement towards the arm that you did, because first, when you first went into the position, that was really good. When you feel you're moving towards the arm, reach more with the leg. That will be the perfect counterbalance. If you're falling towards the arm, reach with the leg. So get stable, cycle, a couple of breaths there. When you're happy that you're rock solid,
Yes.
lift and reach with that leg. All right, and Amber, if you feel it's not there, that's fine. The lifted paw position's enough. That would be challenge but successful. I think you're on mute at a minute, don't. ITO. Hiya, Brooke.
Hi.
Did you get the memo?
I don't think I did.
It was an earlier start tonight, yeah. But we're doing all things bird dog at the moment. But
Okay, I'm on mute.
so let's, if people are still getting something out of the bird dog and the lifted paw position, carry on with that. But then for Tom, let's see a Spider-Man crawl, please, mate. That's coming on, mate. Particularly when leading with the left hand.
Nice.
That's good, mate. Really nice. And then Linda, have you got a crawl for us? What crawl would you like to show us?
The hardest for me is the creepy. I'm not up to.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's coming on, Linda.
Yeah, but it's really hard for me.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Where do you feel the challenge with that?
I believe every part of my body.
Yeah, well, that is great. That then shows it's a whole body movement, which is always what we're after. You know, and the way it looks to be coming on, that's excellent.
Yeah, it's better than it was, but I'm not satisfied.
Rob, have you got a crawl for us, mate?
Yeah.
What are we going for?
Creepy.
Excellent. So pay the same attention to the quality of your quadruped, which I suspect you are, given how you're getting into the position. Try and move the leg first, because you see how your hands, that's way ahead of you. And so when the hands are ahead, it's not giving you any support.
No.
And so yeah, Rob, if you look in, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So what you were doing, your hands were out here because the hands were going first. And that really exposes the shoulder to the point where I don't want to move this right hand to demonstrate, because I won't be being kind to my shoulder.
Public transport,
What you want,
shops, and tourist attractions in Oregon.
you get your nice quadruped, move the foot, and you see how the hand didn't reach out. The hand just went with the torso. What's happening is foot comes forward there, and then she just moves with the torso. That foot will come forward, and then just moves with the torso. So it's always down. You can do it at the same time, it's best. But if you're going to do one limb at a time, have the leg first, and then watch this. There's no reach with the arm at all. Stay straight. You just move the torso. And so if I then go into creep and crawl to demonstrate that, because it wouldn't be fair if I didn't. So just focus on keeping that arm in that vertical straight line. And so when you move forward, you lift the hand and disengage, but you keep that straight arm when you move the torso. Well, Rob, stop again, mate. Yeah, because you've got to go with the leg first. If you think about it, mate, and I'll just do with this one last bit of me gobbing off. Rob, you just look in. You're starting in the quadruped. If you move the hand first, straight away, see you're reaching forward. That's a weak position. It's going to collapse in the middle, because you don't have the base of support underneath the center of gravity. So what's got to go first? It's got to be the leg first, and then the torso moves and the hand just lifts and re-engages.
Yeah.
Leg. That's better, mate. Much better. And get those knees a bit lower to the floor if you can. Yeah, so your challenge now, Rob, is to get those knees just an inch off the floor if you can. Yeah. What's your walking like at the moment, Rob?
Yeah, it's getting there. It's
Yeah.
what
You're able to walk unassisted?
no, it's definitely a threat to be safe. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
with my PT guy,
Yeah.
he
I mean,
put
I
for around me just in case, but
mhm.
I did like 13 meters
Oh, top effort, mate.
a week. So yeah.
Because I think the most beneficial exercise for yourself at the moment, I think I've probably said this a couple of times, is going to be the crucifix rotations
Yeah.
like that, and where you need to work to get your legs underneath the hips. Previously, when I've seen you when you're doing it standing, you had wide legs. Because what we need for your walking is that contralateral. What happens in the same as in the crawl? It's leg there, arm here. So it's that rotation in the spine. And you're getting the rotation in the spine as well as having to control dynamic moving parts. And there's so many of those ingredients come in here. So first of all, you want to be able to do it from kneeling with the legs perfectly straight. And then start doing it from standing, focusing on quality, but focusing on having the legs directly underneath you. And I think drills such as that will be more productive than trying to walk, because your movement will be more authentic. You know? Rightio, Corey, let's have a crawling pattern, mate.
All right. We're gonna do the creepy crawl.
Nice, mate. I had a feeling you were going to say you're going to do the crab crawl. And then when you said creepy.
Oh, yeah. I got confused.
Mate, that's some great expansive movements. I think some of the time on the wall has benefited you there, mate.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, you can see that really quite expansive, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Gary, can we see a baby crawl out of you, mate? Head up looking forward, mate. Head up looking forward. That was a great reset, that, Gary. Really good reset. It shows you're understanding what you're having to do.
I'm okay. How do you? You get a snowstorm?
I like that a lot, mate. Like that a lot. You can see that you understand what you're supposed to be doing there, which is the most important part. I can see that when you're moving with the right arm, left leg, you're doing it together. I don't have a problem with that, because the whilst if it was a different movement, let's say, I would say sort of focus on moving one at a time at first. But it's sort of part of the nature of the crawl that if you can do it anyways, authentically, moving them both at the same time makes it easier. Or rather, doing it one at a time makes it, brings its own challenges. So you'll have to be the judge of whether you're doing that to hide a lack of competency, or whether it is because that's a competent movement. I'll leave that one up to you. But I'd say that's a good effort, that, mate. Whenever you can crawl for your mobility needs, that is going to do you the world of good, and whilst you can do the bird dog on one side, I would, focus on getting the other side to catch up before you work on getting your good side any better. Well done, bud.
Thank you.
Timo?
Yes, sir.
Let's get the weight over those hands, mate. They've got to be under the shoulders. That's good, mate. Although don't reach, it just has to be disengaged with the hand and move the torso, and the hand will come back down.
We're here.
That's it, just like that. Well done.
Good.
Just pop the hand down again, mate. That's it. Excellent. Timo, that's great. That looks really safe and consistent, that, mate.
That's it. Takes a couple of strides to get the feel.
Yeah. And
But yeah, the first couple are always rough. Then it kind of gets the right feel.
yeah. And feel is what it's all about. It's great hearing you use those words to describe it, mate. That's great, that, Timo.
Nice.
Yeah. And it really looks like that lifted paw, seems to do you quite a bit of benefit. You're looking really solid in that position. And that's where you'll get the feel that, to translate to the other moves. Well done.
Great.
Amber?
Only baby call.
That's nice. That's great, Amber. You see so much easier movement around that knee now.
Yeah, better.
Great. Excellent, Amber. That's really nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Mary, I don't think we saw too much of your bed.
Oh,
You didn't look like you were full of anticipation there, Mary.
I mean, I can do it with the foot down,
Yeah, that's good.
lifting nuts, but I mean, kind of briefly.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Well, you tell you what, we'll do a little bit of work on that first. If you could move back a little so I get a better angle on your silhouette. That's it. And then just 10. That'd be great. Just make sure you've got enough room for your legs. Maybe that's because if you turn a little to your left and go closer to the bed, because we won't get you reaching forward. We'll only get you pulling the elbow under the to the torso.
Yeah.
If you get first of all, just get in the quadruped position, Mary. Right now, hands are a little further forward than the shoulders, so if you just bring them back slightly, that's better. Now get the head up looking forward. And now on an in-breath, and I want you to fill the abdomen with the in-breath. Just take one of those feet to the rear and have the toes tucked under. Excellent. And then fill the abdomen with breath. And then on a forced out breath, I want you to, yeah, that's right, forced out breath. I want you to feel the weight through the left hand. And I want you to lift that left leg and reach to the rear. Reach to the rear with it. You see how you come forward? If you feel yourself coming forward, reach more with the leg. Go through the steps, Mary. First of all, check that the hands are underneath the shoulders and the arms are straight. If they are, head up looking forward. That's it. Fill the abdomen. Mary, you're trying to do too much at once. That's it. Now, so just cycle a breath there. Cycle your breath. Now, it looks like that left arm is bent at the elbow. Is it?
Kind of, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so it's spread your fingers and get the arms straight if you can. That looks way better. Now head up looking forward. I have that right elbow into the side. Now head up looking forward and just breathe there, Mary. Just breathe. Don't worry about lifting that leg. Just stay in that position and breathe. Just breathe there. And so I think what's happening there, Mary, there's a couple of things. I think the elbow is bending, and as soon as the elbow bends, that lowers the torso a bit, and then that's going to twist you round to the missing hand. But also, when you feel that happen,
Yeah, and I feel like kind of causes a vestibular issue.
yeah. And I think one thing you can do to help yourself there as well is when you feel that happening, is reach further back with that leg. If you feel yourself moving towards the missing hand or the missing limb, in fact. So whether it's the left or the right hand side, or whether it's the foot or the hand, whichever one's missing, if you feel yourself moving towards it, just reach. So if you just breathe there, that's it. And if you feel yourself that you're going to topple towards that left hand, just reach more with that right foot. That's it. Just breathe there, Mary. Just breathe. That looks really stable. That looked great, Mary. See if you can try that on the other side. So concentrate on a good quadruped first, so the hands are under the shoulders. The arms are straight, the fingers are spread. That's good. Now, big breath in, the leg goes out. Head up, looking forward. And then reach with that leg. Reach with the leg. Keep reaching with that leg. And breathe. Just breathe there.
Nice.
That's great, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And get the feel of what that position feels like when you're there. And that's the feeling that you try to recreate when you want to go stable in that position. That looked great, Mary.
Thank you.
What do you like doing a baby crawl? Are you okay with that?
I can do it. I tried Spider-Man. Couldn't do that.
Don't. Let's just start with baby crawl.
Crawl, I think
Yeah.
I'm moving at the same time.
Yeah, but put the hands under the shoulders. Don't reach forward. That mean it all look good and stable. Moving at the same time is cool, as long as that hand, see, don't reach forward. That's it. Make sure that, yeah, excellent, Mary. When that hand comes down, it needs to be under the shoulder, because that's what's going to give you the best support. I mean, if you've got a column that's holding up the roof, the column isn't outside of the roof, is it? It's directly underneath it, because that's what's going to give it support. That was really good.
All right, thank you.
Brooke,
Yes.
how are you with the bird dog, Dom?
Depends on the day.
Looks a nice quadruped. That's it. So if you find yourself falling towards that hand, reach with the leg. Reach with the leg. And also, you can take the elbow to the torso. Instead of reaching out in front, just take the elbow to the torso in that lifted paw position. Push into the ground on that right hand. Feel the weight there. That's not bad at all, Brooke. But let's see if we can build the position up then. So if we go,
This is a lot better.
yeah, on that other side, see if you can push the leg out to the rear and keep the toes engaged on the floor. So on a big in breath. No, Brooke, keep the toe on the floor.
Go.
That's it. Now, cycle a breath there. And then don't reach forward with the hand. Just bring the elbow to the torso. That's it. Head up, looking forward. Now just cycle a couple of breaths there. And then big breath in, fill the abdomen. And then lift that rear leg up. Reach with that leg. That was brilliant, Brooke. Excellent. And I'm not sure if that big in-breath was a big change for you there, big benefit. And that's one, if you can focus on building the posture in that fashion there, you see how much longer you spent in that expansive position then at the end. That was excellent. All righty, TJ, you get to close us out, mate.
Baby crawl.
Baby crawl, mate. Or we can build it from the lifted paw position if you like.
Yes.
All right, so we need to get that good spine position. Now, at the moment, the hands and knees are too close, so that's forcing the spine into flexion. That's not too bad, mate. You get that head up and get that lumbar curve. Get the lumbar curve, nice. If you watch that in the video, you can see the difference in that spinal position. So the first move is going to be on a big breath in, one leg out to the rear with the toe still on the floor. Toes bended back. Big breath in. It's good, mate. Nice. Knees first.
Oops, that was a big one.
That's good. You don't have to go for as big a strides. Nice. You see how sort of easy that step was then? It was a small step. You just moved the torso and then the hand just lifted and went back down. Yeah. TJ, before trying to crawl, I would spend some time focusing on the lifted paw dog. What I would, a little as I demonstrated earlier, I'll demonstrate again for you, mate.
Cheers, Steve. Bye, everyone.
Cheers, Rob.
See you, Rob.
Okay.
What we want to see is get your quadruped, good solid quadruped, then practice one leg, cycle your breaths, turn it, examine your quadruped position, make sure you're happy with it. Leg out again. Then try both hands. Checking the position each time. Then go to the leg. And cycle your breath. And if you feel solid, first of all, try the empty step. I'm going to lift my right hand. So I want to feel all my shoulder weight going through the left hand. I want to feel the weight come out of this right hand before I lift it up. And then if I feel stable, I lift it up slowly. If I feel like I'm moving towards this lifted hand, I push into that outstretched leg. Now, I'm already 3 minutes over time, and I am going to get strung up by something I don't want to be strung up by. Jules, did we do a crawl for you, mate? Did we?
Well, it didn't, but I don't want to get you in trouble, mate.
Nah, you can squeeze the Spider-Man in there.
All right. I've never tried Spider-Man. Can I do a creepy crawl?
Of course you can, mate. Yeah, of course you can. Sorry, I thought you were an aspirant Spider-Man. I thought you were in the Spider-Verse.
Not yet.
Has anyone seen that shocking movie? My grandson's got it on all of the time.
Which one?
It's a Welcome to the Spider-Verse or some nonsense like that. It's a Spider-Man animated thing.
You have? Yeah.
Nice.
That's nice, Jules, mate. Certainly looks reliably solid. And keeping the knees low as well.
That's it. Right. I'm trying to not make it like I'm sort of falling into it. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to.
Yeah. The big one for it is the arms. It's the straight arms under the shoulders. That's the key. As soon as they're not there, everything's got to compensate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I guess a bit like walking anyway. It is a form of falling, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. That's
So-
when they move together. That's as I was chatting earlier with Gary, saying if you want to move both at the same time, as long as it doesn't look like a car crash, then fine. You know. But anyway, guys, I've got to love you and leave you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And I will see you on Wednesday.
Is the show tomorrow, Curry?
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
o'clock.
Same time? Okay, thank you.
Cheers, Steve.
Yeah.
All righty, guys.
Have
Ta-ra.
a good
Bye.
one.
Thank you.